Over the past 2 years, I have made some really silly investing mistakes. I decided to go over some of the stocks that I have lost money on and analyze exactly where I went wrong. In this video, I want to share with you everything that I learned over the past 2 years and how I am going to apply these lessons to my own investing so that we can all become better investors in 2023 and beyond. By me not sharing my mistakes openly with all of you, then I would be doing you a disservice because then you would not be able to benefit from the mistakes that I have made here on my channel. That is why I want to go through all of the mistakes that I made over the past year. Well, not all of them, but some of the largest and most catastrophic ones that I made. And I want to share them all with you in today's video. And the first mistake that I made was here on this stock called grn.to. This one is Greenlane Renewables Inc. I believe that I initially started talking about the stock sometime at the beginning of 2021, and we can see that since then the stock is now down about 77.58%. We can also see that back here from September 2020 to the peak in 2021, this stock was up about 600%. So right away, the first thing that I'm noticing is that whenever a stock runs 600%, the risk reward is probably starting to get quite skewed because the stock is running most likely much faster than the fundamentals, and whenever that happens, it ultimately means that the stock is becoming quite expensive. So now let's head over to Stock Unlocks Insights and see what we can find on the stock. Right away, our quick blurb tells us that this company has negative free cash flow and is currently losing money, but it has grown its revenue by 86% over the past year, which is very strong growth. Now, if we also scroll down, we can see that this company has a cash runway of 62 months, which is over 5 years. So yes, this company is currently losing money. It currently has negative free cash flow. However, the company does have a very large cash position of over 5 years left at their current burn rate. The company also has a current ratio of 2.2, so the balance sheet looks like it at least is safe for now. And over the next 5 years, the company has that much time to become profitable. Now, if we take a look at the company's growth, it's 2.38 out of 5, which is not very good at all. The revenue has increased massively, gross profits are increasing massively, but the operating income and the net income are down a lot year over year, and the operating cash flow is barely growing. We can also see that the free cash flow is declining, the book value is declining, and the tangible book value is declining. So basically the revenue and the gross profits are the only thing growing for this business, but the operating income, net income, operating cash flow, and free cash flow are all declining or not growing. Next, we can see that this company has a profitability score of 1.57. Gross margin is only 22%, operating margin is negative, net margin negative, free cash flow margin negative, and they have lost $4 million in free cash flow in the past year. So the company is not profitable either. And this is where things really started, this is where my lessons really started being learned, is it doesn't matter that the company's revenue has grown 86% over the past year. What matters is it is not profitable and its profits are going down. So back in 2021 and in 2020, I was buying a lot of more speculative stocks because the revenue was just growing so freaking much. And at the time, that is what the market was rewarding. As long as the business's revenue was going up, everything was fine and the stock would continue going up. But over the long term, it is not the revenue growth that carries the stock higher. What it is the underlying fundamental profit growth and ultimately how much cash that business can return back to you as a shareholder going up, or essentially the company's free cash flow increasing. So what we can see right here with GRN, Greenlane Renewables, is that the revenue growth has been very, very strong, but ultimately the free cash flow is still negative and it's still losing money. So since the company is not growing its profits, that is why the stock has not performed well. And that is why the stock is down 78% over the past year. So my lesson with Greenlane Renewables is really that I should have been focusing on the profit growth and not just the revenue growth. So now let's go and take a look at another stock that is eerily similar. This is GDNP, Good Natured Products. And I was buying this stock, I was buying this stock at $1.60 Canadian, like literally right here at the top. And luckily I got out before I had a bigger loss. And this always was a speculative position for me. I believe my position maxed out at about $2,000 at its peak. So very small position for me personally. Yeah, I'm just happy that I didn't make this one a huge position. But anyways, this stock ran massively. It was up over almost 1,300% from the bottom here in 2020 to the peak in 2021. So literally up 13x within a year. There you go. Clearly, I probably should not have been buying it because it was most likely very overvalued. But now since the peak here, the stock is down about 86%. So it had massive losses for anyone who is buying it way up there. So let's go and take a look at our stock unlock insights once again. This company has negative free cash flow, and it has a cash runway of about 16 months. So if we take a look at the company's financial health, we can see that at its current burn rate, because the company is not generating any money, it has about 16 months of cash left. So basically, if the company does not go on to generate profits within the next 16 months, then it's either going to have to dilute or take on more debt. We can also see that its debt to EBITDA ratio is 41, which is very high. And ultimately, that means that the company has a lot of debt. Now, we can also see that the growth is 4.0. Revenue is increasing, gross profit increasing, operating income increasing, operating cash flows increasing, and even free cash flow is increasing. But ultimately, the company's profitability is 1.57, so the profitability is still very low. The gross margin is only about 26%, operating margin's negative, net margin negative, free cash flow margin negative, and it's lost about $8 million in free cash flow over the past year. So what this ultimately tells me is the business is growing strong, right? I mean, revenue grew 130%, but the profits are still non-existent, so the company is still losing money. If we head over to its financials really quick, we can see that its revenue has been growing super well. I mean, since 2020, the revenue is up about 8x. But as we saw, the stock isn't up 8x because, again, stocks do not follow the revenue. What they follow is the underlying fundamental profit growth. And if we head over to the cash flow statement, we can see that its operating cash flow is improving significantly, but it is still losing money. And if we head down to the free cash flow, we can see once again that the company is still, in fact, losing money. It is getting closer to being free cash flow positive, but it's not quite there yet. And the company is, in fact, still losing money. So again, what matters here, what I've learned is that revenue growth is not the holy grail of investing. A company can be growing revenue at 130%, just like we saw with GDNP, but the stock price can still fall over 80%. So the revenue and the stock price can go in a totally opposite direction if the company's profits are not growing and if the company is not producing profits for its shareholders. So when I'm taking a look at these businesses now, what I really focus on is the company profitable? Can it fund itself organically, and can it grow its profits organically as well? That's really what I like to look for in my own investments now. And these two stocks really freaking taught me that. Now, the third stock that I made a mistake on over the past year was a stock called Next Green Wave, which was also a smaller cap company. By the way, GDNP and GRN were both small cap companies as well. NGW was a small cap company as well. I believe that the stock was $73 million when it got bought by a company called Planet 13. And Next Green Wave was, again, a smaller cap $70 million company in the cannabis industry. And it ultimately got acquired. Now, I do not have the stock price or anything like that, but all I have is the screenshots from the company's most recent financial statements at the time that it was acquired, because now that the company's acquired, it does not report financial statements. And the company was acquired, I believe, at the end of 2021, so right around the beginning of 2022. And I just want to show you guys kind of what I was seeing with this business before it got acquired and why I owned it. So right away, this is the company's income statement as of its last financial reporting. And we can see here that its revenue was growing year over year very strong. And for the 9 months ended September 30th, the revenue was about $12.7 million, up from $8 million the prior year. So the revenue was up by over 50% year over year. We can also see that the gross profit year over year freaking doubled. It produced $6.3 million in gross profits, and also the gross margin was sitting at about 50%. So this was a pretty profitable business as well. We can also see that the income from operations were up by more than 100% year over year. And in the 9 months ended September 30th, or ended Q3, the income from operations was up over 10x. So this business was becoming much more profitable as time passed, and its margins were actually expanding. And the growth there was just super awesome. Now, what I also saw was here on the cash flow statement, this company was profitable, by the way. And the stock-based compensation was only $400,000 so far in 2021. So there wasn't a lot of stock-based compensation going on. And the stock-based compensation also dropped year over year. So there wasn't a lot of stock-based compensation. That's a nice check mark for me. And then also we can see here that the cash flow from operating activities was $3.1 million, and it almost tripled year over year. So the company's profits were in fact growing. And I loved to see this because the revenue was growing, margins were expanding, and profits were growing. This company was literally generating millions of dollars in cash flow. What was also super enticing to me was that the capex for this business was incredibly low at only $134,000 so far on the year for 2021, and the capex was declining year over year. So again, margins were expanding. I mean, take a look at this. The operating cash flow nearly tripled and the capex declined. So again, margins were expanding. This company was a free cash flow machine. It was generating about $3 million in cash flow so far for the year, or about $1 million a quarter in free cash flow. And actually, when the business was acquired, I believe that it was generating about $2 million in free cash flow per quarter. Okay. So it was a very, very profitable business. So on a $70 million market cap divided by $7 million in free cash flow per year, it was trading for about a 10 price to free cash flow. All right. So it wasn't that expensive, in my opinion, for a company growing that quickly and was that profitable. Now, also what this company was doing with its organic cash flows was paying back its debt. We can see right here that it paid off its secured loan of $3 million and it paid off the interest on the loan of about $260,000. So this company was using all of its cash flow to clean up the balance sheet and really deleverage itself. So now if we head over to their balance sheet, we can see that the company's cash position increased by $1 million on the year organically, and its accounts receivables were up by about 1.1 million. So this was very, very nice to see. Okay, the company was growing its cash position organically and growing its business essentially. The total current assets at the time of acquisition were also $9.6 million, with most of that being cash and accounts receivable. Then we can see right here that the total assets increased by about $2.4 million on the year, and the total current liabilities declined to only $700,000 because they paid off that massive loan. And then right here, we can see that the company's total liabilities declined from $3.3 million down to $732,000. So take a look at this. The company had $4.9 million in cash and $732 million in total liabilities. So they could have paid off all of the company's liabilities and still had $4.2 million left in cash. So what I was seeing was an incredibly clean balance sheet, a very profitable business with the margins expanding. It's generating millions of dollars a year in cash flow, and it had no debt on the balance sheet really. And it was growing. It was growing a revenue at 50% year over year, and cash flows nearly tripled year over year. What went wrong with this business? Because honestly, when I took a look at the financials, everything looked so solid for Next Green Wave or NGW. What went wrong with the business is the freaking CEO. In my opinion, that CEO did not want to operate a public company anymore. So what he did is he sold the company to Planet 13 for pennies on the dollar. Again, the company was sold for about 10 times free cash flow while it was growing 50% year over year with a phenomenal balance sheet. I believe that it was selling for like 2 to 3 times book value as well. So in my opinion, I think that the CEO of Next Green Wave, which was Mike Jennings, did not want to run a public company anymore. Planet 13 offered him a deal. Mike Jennings, the CEO, was the largest shareholder of Next Green Wave. And in the deal, Mike Jennings got out a millionaire. He made probably $13 to $15 million by selling Next Green Wave. He got out of the CEO role. He got out of the public's limelight because I don't think that he wanted to be a public company CEO. The guy just likes to grow cannabis, okay? So when Next Green Wave got acquired by Planet 13, they kept on Mike Jennings and they flew him out to Florida. And now all Mike Jennings does is grow cannabis, and he's sitting on probably $10 million, right? My lesson with Next Green Wave was you really got to think about the management, and you really got to pay attention to the management. There's more to it, especially when you're investing in smaller cap companies, which I do still like to do. You got to focus on the management because everything fundamentally and financially with Next Green Wave looked pristine. It had a pristine balance sheet. Growth was there. Cash flow was there. But what screwed up the investment was the freaking CEO selling the company for pennies on the dollar of what it was worth, in my opinion. And as a shareholder, I mean, I got screwed, right? The company got sold at a price that was like 40% below where I bought the company. And that's just what it is. So you really got to pay attention to the management of the businesses that you're invested in. You want management teams that are there for their shareholders, not just in it for themselves. In my opinion, I think Mike Jennings was in it for himself because he got a massive payday by selling the company. You want companies that are there to grow shareholder value and actually want to be leading the company. You want management teams that want to be there with the company, growing it and benefiting with the company's growth as well. I really focus on the management teams when I invest in businesses now, and I make sure that the management teams have skin in the game, high insider ownership. There is not a lot of stock-based compensation going on, and they're teams that want and are motivated to grow the company. They want to be in the company. they're happy to be the CEO, the CFO, etc., and they're buying more shares over time. So I really focus on the management teams now. To summarize, the main lessons that I have learned over the past couple of years are: 1. Stocks follow profit growth, not revenue growth. Revenue growth is not everything. The business has got to be growing its profits as well. Number 2, if a stock runs faster than its fundamentals, it's probably becoming overvalued. Do not chase the hype or get caught up in the speculation of what stock prices are currently doing. Number 3, management teams play a role in your returns, and a pretty significant one at that. A business can have pristine financials, just like we saw with the next green wave, but if the management is low quality or not in it for the long run, then they will take a quick payout instead of compounding the business over the long term. You have got to analyze the management as much as you analyze the financials. And finally, number 4, I needed Stock Unlock back then to show me an unbiased analysis of these businesses' financials. Having Stock Unlock back then would have saved me a lot of money from not buying these stocks and avoiding them altogether. I have used these lessons to find what I believe are much better stocks over the past year. And if you've been watching my channel, then you can probably attest to that. Basically, I have used my failures as lessons to continue improving and becoming a more profitable investor. And as I like to say, failure is only failure when you decide it is not a lesson. My goal on my channel is to continue sharing these lessons publicly with everyone who chooses to follow along so you can improve your investing as well. Not sharing these lessons or my own failures would be a disservice to all of you, and ultimately it would not be what is in your own best interest. So with that being said, if you like this video, then please remember to leave a like on it, as it helps the video gain more traction and views across YouTube. Also, if you're new here and you want to stick around and see more stock market related content like this, then please consider subscribing to the channel, because that would also be pretty awesome. Now, lastly, if you are interested in checking out Stock Unlock, which is the platform that I use here on my channel, then you can get a 14-day free trial by clicking the link at the top of the description. And I can promise you that during your 14-day free trial, you will become a better and more profitable investor. So seriously, go get your 14-day free trial. You do not need a credit card. It is totally risk-free, and go and check out the platform and become a better investor by using it. But that's going to wrap up the video, everyone. So thank you so much for watching. I truly do appreciate it, and I really hope to see you all again in my next video.